container?
I know almost nothing about it. I just read somewhere where the feds were threatening to withhold highway funds. Indiana's one of the few states that didn't have. Again, I don't really want to make these statements because I'm not sure what I'm talking about. It was just I didn't know whether it was a perceived threat or a real threat. So
Gotcha.
that's
But it dealt with open container laws within the state
yes.
of Indiana.
Apparently Indiana is way behind on open container laws compared to other states. Again, apparently,
Whatever
allegedly,
that means, right?
I'm not making a decision. I have been known to drink a Pepsi and go down the road, so.
Okay, let's go with claims. You guys need a break here?
I'm fine. Need break time?
Okay. No.
Doing my math.
Mr. Chairman, I personally am gonna yield to you. I think you said you did the claims.
Yeah,
So I'll yield to you for any thing needs brought up.
The only thing that I had from claims, I had a couple of questions with community corrections, which I've talked to Paul Warden about. There was on a credit card, on the Walmart credit card, there was a $29 late fee and $71.52 on interest, and that has been taken care of. We're going to make sure that we run special check runs to make sure that we don't have any issues with that anymore. And also on the Sheriff's Department, we had a $15 late charge also on a credit card, and I talked to the sheriff on that, and evidently it was just a mistake on their part, and they'll be watching it a little bit closer. The only other thing I had was the travel and mileage for Craig Wagner. I'm going to check with him and try to find out, since we have a car for him, why we were getting mileage. I didn't get a chance to talk to Craig.
Use his own phone.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
This one here, because when I see two identical numbers for two identical things, I just want to make sure it wasn't a double payment. Partial meal cost for Police Academy. It's the same guy, and they're both $111.20.
We had to split it between the old one for half the conference and pay it. They asked for it to be split exactly in half.
Well, that's fine. I just, like I said, when I see things like that, I just want to make sure that when we found a double payment here a while back, so
Right.
that's
When
what.
he goes into the academy, he hands him the check, and halfway through it, he hands him another check.
Okay, thank you.
He took them both with him, but had to pay at different times.
I don't have anything else.
I hate to bring this up. I would have brought it up regardless of what has transpired, but on the fire hydrant payment to the city, it's on page 3. I'm sure the police can help me out on this. Is there just one fire hydrant, do you know, on West Market Street or West Plaza Drive or West Van Buren? Seems like they're charging us for one hydrant. And then I took the West Van Buren Street one, and that would appear with that amount, and dividing what one costs, we must have about 8 on West Van Buren Street that we're paying for, because that would come out 6,010, so it'd be close. But I'm just wondering, is this normal?
Mm-hmm. They sent a thing with the notice of an increase,
A thing.
a notice with their bill that there was an increase to the charge, and it is $751.93 a hydrant.
We pay the city. And,
Annually, per hydrant.
okay.
So we pay one, that's at the jail, 101 West Market. We pay one, I'm basing one on 750, 193. We pay one at the community corrections, and we pay one at West Van Buren, which is here. So the others then, which amounts to about what, 9?
8.
8 are, do I understand that's along East Van Buren from here to the,
One's at Market, which is the jail.
yep, I'm
One's at
clear,
Plaza.
I'm clear on the 3. I'm clear on the 3, I'm not clear on the 8. Why would we pay, for hydrants along the street on East Van Buren? That's a retort, no, I'm not asking an answer, that's just a question that I think deserves an answer.
Okay. I will
No.
ask them.
This is in addition to what the redevelopment pays.
Yes, this is just the county's portion of it. And you guys-
Redevelopment would pay more out at the park.
Yeah, 31 of them along the corridor.
Anything in the tip,
Do we pay
In
the
the
same
district.
amount out there?
yes. So
No,
Okay.
I back that up. It's the same amount for that, but since we installed the line out there, we get a discount. The
Oh, what is it,
redevelopment,
is,
75%.
yeah, well, yeah. But don't we get a 75% for these also? Oh, it's just through redevelopment.
Because we did the water line out to the industrial parks.
so
There was no
in,
discount
in
in
checking
Cider,
with that water line, which was put in with, federal or state funds, I think they got 3 years left. And then it's 20 years, and at that time, the city takes it over. So will that relinquish our payment on those?
You know,
Do you have a contract on these fire? I can remember a number of years ago when
this
Don
was brought
Lango
up.
was on city council, we had talked about this. I suppose the most representative person would be Bill Overdeer, who was also involved at that time, but, I'm just wondering if we signed a contract, if that contractual, once the city inherits that line, which is written in there 20 years from the point it was put in, and mainly was put in for SDI, then it goes to the city, including the water tower. So from that point, I guess I'm kinda in limbo whether we continue paying rental on them or not.
But that's in the TIF district. My
But it's
concern,
still,
my concern is this $6,000 for 8 fire hydrants along East Van Buren. I don't understand how that's our responsibility. I understand out in the TIF district. I mean, I don't have an understanding there
Yeah.
either, but
You meet with Mayor Daniels next couple of weeks, I would ask him these questions. And from after Arborbright talked about it, done development, there is no contract upstairs that I can see in redevelopment folders or anywhere, even on the 31 hydrants from here out to Park 30. I can't find, it was just like a verbal agreement between the
and
city
this
and
is
the
a
county.
monthly payment.
Annual.
Annual
Annual
payment.
We get bills.
So I would still say whether it's our budget, redevelopment budget, economic development budget, we should find that answer out. So before it gets right up, we might have to get attorneys involved, how we can, if we don't. Does the city have a contract on this, on the obligation, do you know? Somebody, surely
there's
somewhere.
gotta be a contract somewhere, doesn't
And
there?
I would think so, and I guess my thought is if there is a contract, is there an elevator clause in there that they can, is it X amount per
Yeah.
hydrant, or can they keep raising the cost?
And I think Don has a very legitimate question, is the fact, these were not put in, the ones in town have been established. I know they've had to place some because of reorganization and things, but, still, when we go east into the industrial corridor, which I'm gonna call that, for example, I think we just had to put in one at the city forward out there. When we extended that water line, I think we had to put one in there. And I understand the city, they need money to keep these maintained, not frozen and things. I'm not throwing any bars, I'm just saying it seems strange that it's coming.
I think it'd be prudent for us to get the contract out, and take a look at the contract.
You find the contract.
That
Yeah.
seems to be.
And I guess that's my question.
It seems like an agreement, but we're back to, do you remember when they're taking over the water tower? Remember when they come in, they want to put the,
Yep.
do you remember when the city takes over? Is it 2015 or 16?
I'm telling you, until then, I didn't even know there was such a thing.
I think it's 16. I
It-
think
it-
we got-
16, I
We
think.
figured the other day.
Yeah.
that
And
we-
is
So
there-
it's the same time as still there.
And is there a contract that says that happens?
Pardon?
And is there a contract that says that really happens, or was that a gentleman's agreement?
Yeah.
No, I think there was a contract, 'cause I
All right.
don't remember when we met the city councilman at that time.
You think was Gage the attorney then?
Yes, he
Is that
would
right?
have been, he would have been.
Okay.
His name was mentioned in redevelopment the other day also.
Okay.
So I'll see what I
No
can do.
further questions, I understand.
I'll
Okay,
find out
thank you.
some more.
No, I would just like to make that as just a point of discussion with the mayor when we meet. I make the motion, we accept the claims.
Second?
Got a motion, we got a second, discussion. Those in favor raise their right hand, opposed the same.